Okay, let's talk about the year 2026. This is a year that's getting a ton of buzz, and for some pretty wild reasons. We're seeing these incredibly intense, contradictory predictions. On one hand, you have prophecies of global catastrophe, and on the other, you have visions of shocking, personal good fortune.
So, what's the deal? You have to wonder, is 2026 the year that brings an end to the world as we know it, or is it the start of a completely new, transformative era? Well, the prophecies we're looking at suggest it might actually be both, happening at the exact same time.
To kind of set the mood here, listen to this really cryptic quote. It was inspired by the very mystic we're going to be talking about. It perfectly captures the two huge themes we're seeing for 2026. This world-altering clash of ideas and a massive, profound leap in technology.
And the person at the center of all this? That would be Vangelia Gustarova, but she's much better known as Baba Vanga. She was a blind Bulgarian mystic, and her followers are absolutely convinced she predicted major world events like 9/11 and even Brexit. Now, she passed away back in 1996, but her prophecies, interpreted after her death, are what frame this entire narrative for what might be coming in 2026. All right, so first, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and look at the darker side of the forecast. The predictions really paint a picture of a world on the absolute brink, with several pretty chilling global events all converging at once.
According to these prophecies, we could see 4 massive global crises all hit in 2026. We're talking about the potential start of a new world war, climate chaos on a scale we've just never seen, artificial intelligence reaching a whole new level of dominance, and, get this, even the possibility of first contact with extraterrestrial life.
And the geopolitical predictions get super specific. The sources point to a major shift in global power moving toward Asia, a direct confrontation between Russia and the USA that leads to massive instability. The rise of a powerful new world leader from Russia, and then there's this really strange and mysterious prediction of a fragmented or nearly empty Europe.
The scale of the environmental warnings is just staggering. The prophecies suggest that up to 8% of the Earth's entire landmass could be hit by some combination of mega earthquakes, huge volcanic eruptions, and just extreme weather events.
But here's the thing about 2026. It's a year of incredible duality. So on one hand, yeah, there's the fear of AI becoming so dominant that it's making critical decisions for us. But on the other hand, you have the promise of a medical revolution, like the mass availability of lab-grown organs, which could potentially wipe out tons of fatal diseases. So what's behind all this intense energy? Now we're going to pivot from the what to the why. We're going to look at the astrological framework that supposedly underpins this entire year of massive transformation.
The key concept here is something astrologers call collective calcination. It sounds intense, and it is. Basically, it's the process of burning away all the old broken systems to clear the ground so new things can grow. And it's said to be driven by a rare meeting of Saturn and Neptune right at the very beginning of Aries, which is like the starting line of the whole Zodiac.
So the year's energy is predicted to build in stages. The first quarter is this ignition chamber with Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Then, from April to July, Uranus moves into Gemini, and that's supposed to trigger a massive rewiring of our technology and how we communicate. And finally, in late June, Jupiter enters Leo, putting a huge spotlight on leaders and creators.
Now for the big twist. Amidst all this global chaos, the source material identifies 6 specific zodiac signs that aren't just predicted to survive, they're predicted to thrive in some really shocking and unexpected ways.
So, who are these favorites of fate? The sources point directly to Aries, Gemini, Leo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. They are seen as the primary beneficiaries of this whole new era. For these 6 signs, 2026 isn't a year of crisis, it's a year of profound positive transformation.
For Aries, this means a sudden, high-profile career boost and, believe it or not, developing some patience. For Gemini, it's a mask falls off year of radical honesty that leads to a financial breakthrough, likely from something digital or a creatively risky project.
Leos, you're looking at a major status upgrade. But the real shocker is a newfound desire for privacy, which, paradoxically, is what leads to great wealth. And Scorpios will experience this powerful emotional rebirth. Your turning point comes when you finally reach out and start collaborating with other people.
For disciplined Capricorn, 2026 is described as the coronation. It's the moment where all your years of hard work finally pay off in a big way. We're talking prosperity and respect. And for Pisces, it's a year of spiritual thunder, where your intuition becomes so incredibly sharp, it leads you to completely reinvent your whole career.
When you look at this summary, a clear pattern starts to emerge. Each sign's predicted fortune isn't just random luck. It's a direct reflection of the year's big astrological events, like that Saturn/Neptune ignition fueling Aries leadership, or the Uranus transition powering Gemini's digital wealth. So how do we make sense of these two completely opposite stories? A world in crisis and individuals finding incredible fortune. This is where we have to synthesize the two. It's all about navigating what the sources are calling the Great Divergence.
And this leads us to a fascinating idea, that a collective economic crisis with high inflation and collapsing systems can exist right alongside massive individual wealth creation. Millionaire status is even seen as possible for those who are able to adapt and embrace these new, unconventional opportunities.
So here's the crucial point. As the old towers of the market start to crumble, brand new markets are literally born. The sources pinpoint AI, regenerative medicine, and new energy as the key sectors where all this new wealth is going to be generated.
Ultimately, the world is predicted to go through a purge, a really painful burning away of what's just not working anymore. But at the exact same time, it's a period of refounding. It's a chance to build something entirely new and hopefully better from the ground up.
And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question. In a world that's defined by such dramatic change, where chaos and opportunity exist side by side, the real challenge isn't just to predict the future. It's to decide how you are going to write your own.
Subscribe for dark mysteries and future predictions. Like if this prophecy shocked you. Share this video.